Hi, welcome back to Lattes with Dr. Llama. I'm Dr. Llama, and here we live for wool and bleed espresso. On the last few videos, you learned how to make your very own coaster. We have a garter ridge bottom, top, an edge, and a stockinette center. But now, you're probably saying to yourself, but Dr. Llama, I can't use this coaster. When I put my cup on it, the needle gets stuck underneath it. Time to bind off. For the bind off we're going to learn today, we're going to do it with a knit slip bind off. So holding your needle, your non-dominant hand as always, we're going to knit the first stitch. From front to back, yarn over, pull it through, slip it off that needle. We're going to knit the second stitch. There are now 2 stitches on your working needle. I recommend, this isn't essential, but I recommend pinching the work right here. Right there. Just pinch it a little. It likes it. Using this non-working needle right here, you're going to go through the first stitch. So 1, 2. The first stitch you did, as if you were purling. You're going to go from front to back. Use this needle to pull that stitch over stitch number 2 and just give your yarn a little tug. Now there's only 1 stitch on your needle. Knit stitch 3. You're back to having 2 stitches. Pinch it, put it through that first stitch as if to purl, and pull it over. See? There's that 3rd stitch. Here's stitch 2. Slip it off. You're back down to 1 stitch on the needle. Give it a little tug each time, but don't pull it too tight or else it won't have any stretch. So you knit a stitch and you slip the next one over all the way down the line. You'll find that the more you do this, the smoother and easier it gets. Knitting's really like anything else. The more you practice, the easier it's going to be. Now when you get down to the final 2, there's only 2 stitches left. They're both on your working needle. You slip, and now 1 stitch remains. You can put one of your needles down. Give the needle a tug so that you have a nice big loop. Grab a pair of scissors and cut your yarn so you have an inch or 2 of tail. Loop, tail. Just reach through the loop, grab your tail, and pull it tight. You have made a coaster. That's not the last step. You still have this tail to deal with. It's got to go somewhere. This next step is called weaving in the ends. In just about any knitting pattern, you're going to hear it call for weaving in the ends, but it rarely tells you what that means. You can do it with a tapestry needle. I like to use this little crochet hook. It's really, really simple. You just stick it through the work really anywhere near the knot. Use the hook to grab the yarn. Pull it through. Pull it tight. Do it again from the opposite side. This is not a science. It doesn't really matter where that hook comes through. Do it a couple of times. Once you've pulled it through a couple of times, just snip it off really close to your work. And you're done. You're going to want to do that with your bottom tail as well from the original cast on. And you're all set. You've made a complete coaster. Make 5 or 6 more and you don't have to buy your mom a Christmas present. So far we've learned to cast on, knit, purl, and cast off. With these few things, you can rule the world, as long as your world is a yarn store. Until next time, just ask yourself, what would Dr. Llama do?
Candid videos, Dr. Llama, take 1. Dr. Llama is a saucy lady. Tell us, Dr. Llama, how do you really feel about yarn? That's inappropriate. I'm cutting that.